If a worldwide war ever begins, you won't get a warning siren. You won't get a countdown. You'll wake up one day and realize things you always relied on are suddenly harder to get, slower to arrive, or completely gone. This video is not about panic. It's about timing. There are a few things in this world that disappear before a global war officially starts, long before headlines say World War III. If you secure them early, life stays manageable. If you wait, you'll be competing with millions of people at the exact same moment. Watch this carefully. Not because war is guaranteed, but because history shows that preparation is only possible before urgency feels real. It doesn't start with explosions. That's the lie people believe. A world war doesn't begin with bombs falling on your street. It begins with language changing. News anchors stop speculating and start choosing words carefully. Military exercises stop being routine. Supply chains hesitate. Prices twitch. Governments issue statements that sound calm but mean urgency. You tell yourself it's politics, posturing, history repeating harmlessly. That's how every major war has started. And by the time the average person realizes it's real, the window to prepare is already closed. World War III, if it ever happens, won't give civilians a countdown timer. It will arrive in phases: financial first, logistical next, physical last. The people who suffer most aren't the ones caught in the first blasts. They're the ones trapped between collapsing systems with nothing secured. So this isn't about hoarding. It's not about fear. It's about understanding which 9 things stop being available before the shooting starts. Because once a global war officially begins, it's already too late to seize them. The first thing you must seize is time, specifically, time away from dependency. When war looms, systems don't fail instantly. They slow. Delivery times stretch. Services degrade. Staffing drops. Priorities shift. If your life depends on daily deliveries, constant connectivity, or just-in-time access, you are exposed. The goal is not isolation, it's flexibility. You want buffer. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. People who survive global disruptions aren't the most stocked, they're the least rushed. Time is seized by acting while shelves are full and choices still exist. The second thing you must seize is critical medication and health stability. Wars don't stop disease, they disrupt treatment. Factories producing medications are often overseas. Shipping lanes become unreliable. Sanctions, cyber attacks, and workforce shortages interrupt supply. If you or someone in your household depends on medication, you don't wait until pharmacies start rationing. You secure refills early, legally, and responsibly. You talk to providers while systems are still functioning. This isn't speculation. During previous conflicts and global crises, medication shortages caused harm far from battlefields. Health is a force multiplier. Without it, nothing else you prepare matters. The third thing you must seize is identity and proof of existence. Documents sound boring until you need them. Passports, birth certificates, property records, insurance papers, digital backups stored offline. Wars displace people before they draft them. Refugees aren't created by bombs alone. They're created by borders closing, banking systems freezing, and bureaucracies hardening. If you can't prove who you are or what you own, your options shrink. Seizing identity means protecting it before panic turns paperwork into a luxury. The fourth thing you must seize is mobility, not vehicles alone, options. Fuel availability collapses early in major conflicts. Prices spike, rationing begins, transportation becomes strategic, not civilian. You want your vehicle maintained, fueled, documented, and legal before stress hits the system. You want alternate routes known. You want the ability to leave or stay deliberately. Mobility isn't about running away. It's about not being trapped by other people's panic. The fifth thing you must seize is information that works without the internet. Wars attack communication first. Cyber operations, power disruptions, signal interference, censorship. When networks degrade, rumors thrive. Panic spreads faster than facts. You need offline information, maps, emergency frequencies, contact lists, basic guides. Not to become an expert, but to avoid making catastrophic mistakes when instructions stop loading. Information is only useful if you can access it when everything else goes dark. The sixth thing you must seize is clean water security. Wars disrupt utilities. Water treatment plants need chemicals, power, and staff. None are guaranteed during global conflict. Water insecurity doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's advisories, reduced pressure, contamination warnings. You don't wait for that. You secure bottled water, filtration, purification options while they're cheap, legal, and available. Dehydration kills faster than hunger, and water becomes political before food does. The seventh thing you must seize is financial flexibility. This does not mean cash alone. Wars destabilize currencies, banks impose limits, digital systems glitch or freeze, international transfers slow or stop. You want diversification, some cash, some accessible accounts, some physical assets that retain value without electricity. Financial stress destroys families long before bombs do. Being able to buy food, fuel, medicine, or transport during disruption is survival, not greed. The eighth thing you must seize is community alignment. This is the most overlooked preparation. In every major crisis, people survive better in small, trusted groups. Families, neighbors, mutual aid circles. Global war fractures trust. People retreat inward. Outsiders become threats. If you don't know who you can rely on before crisis, you won't build trust during it. Community is seized quietly. Conversations, agreements, plans. Lone survivors are myths. The ninth thing, and the one people resist most, is mental framing. Wars don't just break infrastructure, they break psychology. People cling to normalcy too long, then they overreact too late. Seizing the right mindset means accepting uncertainty without paralysis. Understanding that discomfort is not danger, that boredom may be safety, that waiting is sometimes the correct move. The people who survive global conflicts are rarely the angriest or loudest. They are adaptable. They don't chase every headline. They don't dismiss early signals. They don't assume tomorrow will feel like today. They adjust quietly while others argue loudly. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. If a worldwide war truly begins, you won't be able to seize most of these things afterward. Supply chains lock, borders tighten, priorities shift to military and state survival. Civilians who prepared early aren't lucky. They're just early. This isn't about predicting war. It's about recognizing that modern global systems are fragile under stress. Preparing doesn't make war more likely. Ignoring reality makes suffering more certain. You don't need bunkers. You don't need weapons. You don't need to become paranoid. You need timing. Because when people ask later, why didn't anyone prepare? The answer is always the same. They thought there was more time. If you take anything from this, take this. The best moment to prepare for a global crisis is before it feels urgent. The worst moment is when everyone agrees it's real. Seize what matters while you still can, and you may never need to use it. That's the best outcome. Now you understand something most people never think about until it's too late. Global wars don't destroy lives all at once. They squeeze them slowly, quietly, by removing options. The 9 things you learned today aren't about survival fantasies. They're about keeping control when systems become unstable and choices disappear. If a worldwide war never happens, this preparation costs you nothing. But if it does, it gives you something priceless: time, clarity, and flexibility. That's how people endure uncertainty while others panic. If this video helped you think differently, share it with your friends and family. One conversation today can prevent desperation tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn how to face real-world crises calmly, intelligently, and without fear. Stay prepared, stay adaptable, and above all, stay alive.